Welcome to channel 04:30am, October 20th, 2025, Black Sea Bay near Kherson. Hours after Moscow's secret deal with Turkey reopened the ammo corridor, 500 tons of shells were rolling south. On the Rapuch's bridge, the midnight watch had settled into a lazy routine. The captain, confident the mission was over, slept soundly in his cabin. Below deck, a few off-duty sailors shared vodka, while the rest of the crew dreamed of home. None of them noticed a silent shape cutting through the waves, a 20-foot Ukrainian Barracuda USV, gliding at 30 knots. It wasn't alone. Inside its modular bay waited 4 Wild Hornet FPV drones, each carrying a 1.5 kilogram shaped charred warhead. Together, they were about to turn a $200 million ship into molten scrap. A $1 million chess game being played with a $50,000 controller built from parts you can find on Alibaba. The first sign of trouble came at 4:36. A faint blip flickered across the Russian radar screen. Too slow for a missile, too small for a boat. The operator called it in, thinking it was a harmless recon drone. He had no idea he'd just spotted the beginning of the end. The radar, built on Soviet logic, expected straight lines and predictable flight paths. The Ukrainians gave it chaos. The lead Wild Hornet launched, cutting across the ship's bow in a wild corkscrew, skimming just 10 feet above the waves. On radar, it looked like a drunken fly. The computer couldn't track it. A multi-million-dollar system outsmarted by joystick physics and human creativity. The false calm didn't last. The radar warning woke the ship's next defense, the TK-25 electronic jammer. At 4:41, it fired up, flooding the air with electromagnetic noise. On the Ukrainian operator's screen, static. GPS gone. Blind. The Russian EW officer smirked. Checkmate, he thought. But the Ukrainians had built their FPVs for exactly this. When GPS died, the drone switched to inertial navigation, a system guided by motion and gravity, not satellites. You can jam a signal, but you can't jam physics. At the same time, the Barracuda, now 2 miles from its prey, transformed from launch pad to signal booster. It blasted a tight, high-gain signal that sliced through the Russian jamming field. The feed came back to life. Control restored. 2 more Wild Hornets launched into the storm, spiraling like hornets through chaos. The Russian EW officer watched in disbelief. His jammer screamed at full power, yet the drones danced through untouched. He had just lost the electronic war. Then came the guns. 4:44 a.m., the AK-630 close-in weapon system roared awake, spitting 5,000 rounds per minute. The night tore open. Tracers ripped across the sky. The FPV's camera shook violently as fiery streaks zipped past its lens. But there was a flaw. The gun's brain hunted jets and missiles, not skimming FPVs. It hesitated half a second before each detonation. In drone combat, half a second is forever. The Ukrainian operator split the swarm. 2 drones climbed, bright and obvious. Bait. The other 2 dove low, ghosts in the dark. The AK-630 locked onto the decoys, spewing fire at phantoms. Its barrels glowed red, and while it reloaded, the rail killers slipped through. Out of the dark came the Russians' final hope, a Project 22160 patrol ship, the Black Sea Fleet's guard dog. It fired not at the drones, but at their mother, the Barracuda. The Ukrainians answered with deception. 1 Wild Hornet broke off and charged the patrol ship head-on, a suicidal distraction. The Russian guns tracked it, chewing it apart in a blaze of tracers. The crew cheered, thinking they'd won. They didn't see the 2 real Hornets sliding through patrol ship's wake, invisible under the radar. No alarms, no warning, just the soft hum of rotors and fate. 4:47 a.m. The first Hornet struck the Rapuch's deck. No fireball, not yet. Its shaped charge punched through a steel ammo crate, unleashing a molten jet of copper at 25,000 feet per second. For a split second, silence. Then, the world ended. 500 tons of explosives detonated. The ship vaporized in a blinding flash. A mushroom cloud climbed half a kilometer into the night sky. The shockwave punched across the bay, bending air, steel, and pride. From the nearby